Hello everyone, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. So, last episode we had more conversations with CL and also ARCUEID, and it seems like this episode today is gonna be an ARCUEID episode, but we will see. So anyways, let us go.
あ、来た来た。こんばんは。時間ぴったりだね、式。
We are at the normal meeting place. There's that smile. Berating myself for almost letting it enchant me, I glare sharply at ARCUEID. She ambushed me in my own room and only barely escaped undetected. What would I do if the little respect I commanded home vanished to nothing?
ねえ、聞いて。さっきまでそこのベンチに二人組の男女がいたんだけど、おかしな話をしていたの。なんでも誕生日が近いから何か欲しいものがないかって。
待った。その前に言っておくことがある。というか、俺は怒っている。お前がきっちり反省するまで話はしないから、そのつもりで。
怒ってるってなんで？
やっぱりな。分かってないと思った。まあそこはいいよ。お前に一般常識なんて求めてないから。どうせ吸血鬼のすることだと諦める。でも、付き合わされるこっちはたまらないんで、厳重注意だけはしておきます。
It's like I'm training a wild animal.
その言い方、なんか嫌。私、あなたを困らせるようなことはしてないんだけど。
人の部屋に忍び込んでおいてそれか。人間の世界じゃ、無断で遊びに来ることも、2階の部屋に窓からやってくることも、そもそも家の敷地に入ることも犯罪なの。まったく。見つからなかったからよかったものの、もし誰かに見られていたらどうするつもりだったんだよ。まさか、力ずくで解決とかしないよな。
何よ、失礼ね。そんな野蛮なことしません。第一、人間に見つかるようなヘマはしないわ。監視カメラだって壊しておいたし、もし誰かに出くわしても意識を飛ばすだけだし。
カメラ壊しただ。さりげにすごいこと言ったな。それを力ずくって言うんだ、このバカ女。
バカ女って、あなた私をバカにしてるの？
バカをバカって言ってんだから、それ以外何があるって言うんだ、バカ。反論があるなら聞いてやるから言ってみろ。
Honestly, I did not expect this. I thought it was gonna be ARCUEID being much more, let's say, creepy or suspicious. I mean, based after what we saw with Father Mario, right? But seeing this one and then the scene in Shiki's room, I mean, I think maybe for now it's a little bit normal, right? Maybe later it's gonna be much more intense.
何よ、私は式に会いに行っただけじゃない。そんなに怒られるようなことしてないと思うけど。
She still doesn't see what she did wrong. I am too dumbfounded to even speak.
わかった。わかりました。確かにカメラを壊したのは余分な行為だったと思う。要はあれね、人間的にきちんと玄関から行けばよかったんでしょ？次からはそうするわ。招かれないと家に入れないなんて特性もないし。待って、どこ行くの、式？話まだ終わってないよ。
Unbeknownst to me, my feet started walking me home. My instincts have detected a slew of red flags in ARCUEID'S words. But it's not like I could outrun her, so I march right back.
悪い。考え事をしていたら足が勝手に動いた。あと、玄関からやってきたらその時こそ絶好だからな。本気で恨んでやるから覚悟しやがれ。
玄関からでもダメなの？じゃあどうすればいいのよ。 私にあなたに近寄るなって言っているの？
そんなこと言うか、バカ。何もかもいきなりすぎるから、ちゃんと段階を踏んでくれればいいんだ。お前はいるだけで目立つんだから、もっとおしとやかに行動してくれってこと。
If I wanted to invite someone to the Tono mansion, I'd have to introduce them to Akia first. Once she's gotten to know them, they could come over anytime. Or at least that's what I'm trying to explain to ARCUEID, but she's just glaring at me indignantly like an angry cat.
何よ、勝手なことばっかり言って。だいたいいるだけで目立つってどうしてよ。私、外見は人間と変わらないでしょ。
あのな、美人はいるだけで目立つもんなの。人間であるかどうかは関係ない。
I mean, Ishiki is right though. When you look at ARCUEID, she is gonna stand out. Blonde like that, and then her eyes, and beautiful, yes. I replied to her frankly. Maybe it's because I gave her a straight answer, but ARCUEID readily accepts it.
まあ、こっちも言い過ぎたけど。とにかく、今後はあんな無茶はやめてくれ。俺の心臓が止まりかねない。
うん、わかったわ。シキの心臓が止まるのは嫌だから、できるだけおしとやかにする。
ARCUEID nods meekly. Would you look at that? She actually listened to me. Actually, seeing her all sad and helpless like this makes me realize she's not so different from an ordinary human girl.
じゃあ本題に入るぞ。どうしてうちに来たんだ、アルクエイド。俺にはもう用はないはずだろ。
何って、吸血鬼探しよ。シキ、私に協力してくれるって言ったじゃない。
やっぱりそうきたか。親元は倒したけど、まだ手下が残ってるもんな。でもどんな心境の変化だよ。お前の敵はブローブだけじゃなかったのか。
私の敵はブローブじゃないよ。私が探していたのはこの町に救った吸血鬼で、ブローブは関係ないもの。
は？
Another vampire entirely.
待ってくれ。それ、どういう意味なんだ？
言った通りの意味だけど。もう、シキって切れるようでどこか抜けてるのね。いい？確かにブローブは吸血鬼だったけど、あいつは人の血を吸っていた？
I mean, wasn't he drinking blood in the hotel?
吸っていたかって、当然だろ。あいつはあんなに人間を片っ端から燃やして。
Hey, I mean, didn't he bite someone in the hotel back then? And then he burned the lady, right? The woman, but I don't really fully remember though. So that's it. How did I not notice something so obvious? The bodies left behind by the serial killer had been drained of blood, but they were otherwise unscathed. But Volov was different. He burned his victims, he drank their blood too, but draining them was never his modus operandi. Okay. Come to think of it, the victims at the hotel weren't connected to the serial murders. They were treated as casualties of a fire. Which means Volov must not have had any connection to the serial murders to begin with.
待ってくれ。じゃあ、吸血殺人事件は何なんだ？一体どこの誰があんな真似をしていたんだ？
だから、あの事件はブローブと別の吸血鬼の仕業なのよ。この町に隠れていたのはロアという名前の使徒よ。
But weren't Mario and ARCUEID dealing with Roa already? I thought they already finished him.
年月をかけて都市を侵食するタイプで、その特色は転生すること。一つの都市を汚染した後、その命を終えて次の都市を食い物にする吸血鬼。
She doesn't even bother to hide her disdain. The intensity in her voice sends a chill up my
転
spine.
生って、死んだら生まれ変わるって意味の転生？
Buddhists call this concept samsara, I believe. When someone dies, they are reborn into another life and thus their soul lives on forever.
そう、殺されても次の命に生まれ変わる人間を利用した不老不死の亜種。転生は聖堂教会の教義にはないからロアはいないものとして扱われてきたわ。私はそのロアを殺すためにこの町にやってきた。ブローブが来た理由はちょっとあやふやになってきたわね。名誉目当てで私を追いかけてきた祖かと思ったけど、ブローブにはそれだけの理性、使徒社会における協調性はなかったみたいだし。ま、そのあたりはもういっか。ブローブは死んだんだし。
I mean, Vlov was very powerful though. Still, I mean.
とにかくブローブとロアは別物よ。ブローブは正真正銘、この町の使徒化とは無関係の第三者ってこと。私、標的がブローブだなんて言わなかったでしょ？
So you could say that Vlov was very unlucky that he was in this area. When everyone was here, when Arcueid was here, when the church was here. But then again, I guess the church would have sent people anyway when Vlov started, right?
ブローブにとっての標的は私だったけど、私にとっての標的はブローブじゃなくて、この町で通り魔と言われている吸血鬼だけよ。
The Soya Slasher.
シキ、まさかとは思うけど、ものすごく単純な勘違いしてたとか？
うん。勘違いしてた。
Realizing my mistake, I awkwardly look away from Arcueid. She said her goal was to kill the vampire, which I just assumed was Vlov.
それじゃあ、あの夜ブローブと殺し合ったのは無意味なことだったのか？
I mean, it was not all for nothing. He was killing people as well, so... Yeah, you fought him for something.
無意味じゃないわ。ブローブがあなたたちにとって脅威だったのは事実だし、シキは私の代わりに戦ってくれたんじゃない。
Yeah, that's the right word for it. He was a threat still. Even if he was not the target of these people here, he was a threat.
だからそんな顔しないで。もっと自信を持って。あの時のシキは綺麗だった。私、あんなに目が離せなかったのは初めてだった。まあ、だからこそあいつが視界に映るのが我慢ならなかったんだけど、目障りにも程があったわ。
Wow, I'm actually a little moved, and I didn't expect to be cheered up by Arcueid. She's right though, none of that was pointless. However, Vlov was. He was a calamity that had to be stopped. By doing that, even I, whose sole talent is killing, managed to make myself useful.
いや、でも待て。じゃあ吸血鬼事件は何も解決してないってことか？ロアってやつはまだ生きているんだから。
それも問題なし。もう危険はないから安心して。ここからは後処理みたいなものだし。
Yeah, because they dealt with him already. So what is this loose end you're talking about?
後処理ってことは。
Is she saying what I think she's saying?
ええ、ロア本体はとっくに始末したわ。言ったでしょ、シキのおかげだって。ブローブに使う分の力が余ってたし、すぐに見つけてやっつけちゃった。
What was that? You saw that, right? There was a little spark of red there? Arcueid reports matter-of-factly that the incident has been resolved.
それは町の人間として助かるけど。
A sense of terror washes over me. My heart pounds against my ribcage.
でも、ロアを殺してもそのしもべはまだ活動している。前に話したでしょ？親元としもべの関係。死者はみんな死体に戻っただろうけど、使徒にまでなったのが数体残ってるみたいなの。それでね、シキ。
Arcueid calls my name sweetly, so I guess this is gonna be Arcueid's request. Right? She's gonna ask, Shiki, can you help me? I see what this is. I know what she wants now. The reason Arcoid called me out here is...
ロアを倒すのに力を使っちゃったから疲れちゃって。誰かが私と一緒に使徒の後始末をしてくれたら助かるんだけどな。
I knew it. I'm grateful to Arcoid for all she's done, and I can't let the vampires that's still lurking about have a free reign. But I don't know if I can agree to this, no matter how pressing my sense of obligation. My fight with Vlov flashes through my mind. The terror I felt still lingers in my bones, enough to send a chill up my spine. I've gone back to my everyday life. So don't get involved with vampires anymore. I promised CL.
そっか。じゃあとっておきを言ってあげる。
Trump card.
お願いだからブローブを倒してくれ。
What, is she gonna use this compulsion on Shiki?
これって誰の言葉だったかしら。
I can't exactly argue that. Arcoid might have lost her composure when she saw CL, but she still pulled through and helped us in the end. If she hadn't held Vlov's blizzard at bay, the entire city would have been frozen over. Now it's my turn to keep my end of the bargain.
わかった。手を貸す。貸せばいいんだろ。いいよ。俺も吸血鬼の排除には賛成だし。怖いのは嫌だけど、我慢して協力してやる。
そうこなくっちゃ。頼りにしてるわ、シキ。私と一緒に戦ってね。
An eager smile forms on Arcoid's face. I'm sure she's more than capable of handling this herself, but it's still nice to feel relied upon. The word vamp is also used to mean temptress of men, and it's easy to see why. This particular vamp didn't even need to remind me of my promise. Her smile alone would have convinced me. That's it.
ロアを失ったしもべたちの取る行動は2つ。身の危険を察して巣に引きこもるか、支配者から解放されたことで自由に夜を闊歩するか。今夜は前者、引きこもっている方に狙いをつけましょう。
With her plan of action decided, Arcoid leads me to the residential district. From what I've heard, the vampires roaming around freely would pose a greater threat, but the executors, CL and Noel, are likely to be under case already.
まず危険なのは自由になってはしゃいでいる人だろうけど、この町にはあいつがいるから、そんなの昨日のうちに見つかって狩られてるわ。次に危険度が高いのは住処で休眠している集団ね。親元を倒すぐらいの外敵が現れた以上、群れていた方が安全と考える知能があるから。で、危険度、難易度ともに高いのが自由になった時点で群れから離れてじっと町に潜むやつ。それだけの判断力と適応力があるなら4回転を超えているだろうし、時間さえあれば新しい派閥を作りかねない。
新しい派閥？あの地下の広場みたいなものか。
地下の広場？そんなのあったのね。うん、ロアのコミュニティほどじゃないだろうけど、月に1人の割合で人知れず犠牲者を出すぐらいの。でも代行者がいる限り、そんな真似をしたらすぐに見つかって処理されるわ。だから代行者がいる以上、上級の人はなかなか尻尾を出さないの。
I see. From the vampire's perspective, CL and Noel are like the police. Their presence alone is enough to deter random acts of violence and organized criminal activity. At the end of the day, however, the only address of symptoms to truly clean the streets is a much more painstaking task.
それじゃあ、今から行くところは吸血鬼が集まっている隠れ家なのか。
ええ、確証は取れていないけど、それはシキがいればはっきりするわ。それよりシキ、ロアの棺がどこにあったのか聞かないの？
I mean, I am very curious. I want to see. What a peculiar thing to bring up. We actually didn't see where his lair is, right? We saw like one of the places. Let's say one of the lairs, I mean, in ARCUEID'S route, but it was not really Roa's lair technically. It's for his minions, right? So I want to see it. Yeah. But with ARCUEID here though, is it okay to go with her in such a like scary place? But then again, we're here with her, so
別にいいよ。
I don't know.
もう型がついたんなら興味はないし、俺には関係のない話だし。
そうなんだ。四季の学校の地下にあったんだよって驚かそうと思ったのにな。
Oh, under your school. So, okay, so I guess. Okay. No, that's why the final battle was in the school, right? And then Ro would show up in the school. ARCUEID pouts disappointedly. Did they mention that last time? Maybe I just forgot, sorry.
いや待て、そりゃ驚くよ。吸血鬼のボスのねぐらがうちの学校の地下だったって。
ええ、上手に隠されてたけど、そこはほら繊細かつ緻密な。
なぜ疑問符が差し込まれる。
ARCUEID'S explanation is all kinds of suspicious. But that aside, Roa's lair was underneath my school. Although ARCUEID says that she's taken care of it, it's impossible not to be shaken.
四季、どうしたの怖い顔をして。
いや、親玉の住処が学校の地下にあったのなら、うちの生徒たちが犠牲になっていたかもしれない。
それはないと思うけど、本体が眠る棺は最後の隠れ家だから、その周辺で食事なんて取らないわ。下手に血の匂いを残したら来校者にたどられてしまうでしょ。
そっか、自分の家の玄関で事件を起こすようなものだもんな。
そうそう、元凶の膝元では異常は起きない。これ使徒でも人間でも共通の隠蔽法でしょ。
That makes me feel a little better, I guess. ARCUEID takes the lead with an easy stride as she's so relaxed. It's hard to believe she's on her way to a vampire hideout. As for me, I feel nervous but not scared. Has my victory against love just made me complacent? Or have I actually gotten a little braver? Whatever the case, I'm glad I'm not shaking, at least. Wait, vampire sneezing. ARCUEID'S sneeze pulls me out of my reverie. I'm about to ask if vampires can feel the cold, but then I recall the fight with Love. Of course they do. She may be tougher than a human, but I've seen her bleed, not to mention in pain more than once.
そのミニスカが原因か。寒いのならこれ着るか？
I take my jacket off and offer it to ARCUEID.
いいの？やったー！ちょっとの間だけ借りるね。
ARCUEID puts on the jacket and prances ahead, twirling in circles. Despite her sneeze, ARCUEID is the picture of health, a flower in full bloom. But I shouldn't keep staring. I'm not careful. I just might fall for her.
なんだそれ。ここまで惚れっぽかったのか、俺。
Shaking my head, I tear my eyes away from ARCUEID. The quiet residential area is just on the other side of the train tracks. I can't afford to be getting distracted with the vampire hideout so close. Let's see. What are we gonna find out? The hideout turns out to be right in the middle of the neighborhood. A typical 4-story apartment complex, nothing out of the ordinary. There look to be 4 apartments per floor with lights visible in most of their windows.
このマンションがそうなのか。
ええ、それをあなたで確かめるの。シキ、ここでメガネを外して、あの建物の周りを見て。
メガネを外してって、なんで？
その方が確実だから。私は人間と人間じゃないものの気配を感じ取れる。あなたは生者と死者の違いが視覚情報として読み取れる。索敵方法は大いに越したことはないでしょ。これは明日からのテストも兼ねているわ。シキが私と行動するということは、その目で街を見るということだから。
ARCUEID'S explanation makes sense. Plus, I'm the one who agreed to help, so there's no reason for me to decline. In the 7 years and since I got these glasses, I've never once walked the streets without them on. Looking at inanimate objects is enough to give me a headache, so it's not hard to imagine what seeing the lines on every passerby would do to me. But as of a few days ago, everything has changed. Now I know what hell looks like. After the horrors I saw underground, I can survive a headache or two.
メガネを外すよ。それで型がつくなら安いもんだ。
I look at the lines. The strain it puts on my brain instantly makes me nauseous. This place, it seems wrong. There is nothing unusual about the lines running across the building, but it feels somehow lifeless. There is something unnatural about the cold glare of the interior lights, about the strangely concentrated lines of death scrawled across the woman entering through the door.
そう、やっぱり当たりね。
Instead of going to the entrance of the apartment complex, ARCUEID heads down the slope leading to the underground garage. The garage is guarded by a metal shutter, so this is the same place that we went to.
このシャッター、人よけと消臭の結界がかかってる。それも、ロアが消えたことで薄れているけど。
Bending down, she places her hands under the shutter. Is she really going to pull the shutter up by...
シキ、このシャッター切れる？
そりゃ切れるけど、いいのか？
ええ、私よりシキが敵に。無理やり開けると警報が鳴るでしょ？
She does have a point. ARCUEID is pretty good at keeping her cool under pressure. I cut along a line on the shutter. Metal meets concrete with a clatter. I peer into the pitch black through the opening I just cut.
なんだこの匂い。
A foul stench hits my nostrils. The garage reeks of rotting meat and rancid blood. I see several squirming clusters of lines within. The sound of the shutter being sliced open seemed to have caught their attention. Going by the lines, there are 4, no 5 people.
5体もいる。いや、それより気づかれてる。あいつらやる気だぞ、アルクエイド。
Wait, did ARCUEID leave Ishiki here? I look back to see no trace of her. Is she playing with Shiki here? She must have vanished while I was busy cutting the shutter. Oh hell no. And now I'm in a fight for my life with no way out. I can't back down now. I can't even look back. The moment I take my eyes off them, I will become their prey. Red cracks splinter my vision. Like a shattered mirror, like a puzzle with its pieces scattered, The lines of death squirm into my eyeballs and etch themselves on my brain. I'm an idiot. I was so confident in myself, I didn't even bother making the slightest semblance of a plan. And I'm going to die for it, right here and right now. That half-rotten corpse is going to squash my head like a block of tofu. I'm an idiot. I let surviving the catacombs go to my head and forgot that I'm just me. So yeah, did Arcueid bait Shiki to come here? For Shiki to deal with this and then she could just watch it and be satisfied, is that it? So now, with my patchwork humanity stripped away, all that's left is my true self, naked and bare. My body moves before my mind can follow. I dismantle them without hesitation. It feels so familiar, the smell of blood, I mean, the flesh parting with no resistance. Isn't it ARCUEID'S body that they're showing there? Yeah, that's ARCUEID'S body. He's remembering, I guess, in the midst of this carnage. He's remembering what he did to ARCUEID. A sight once I try to forget floods my mind so vividly I can taste it. He is reminded by that day. I resume breathing. A sharp headache snaps me out of dizziness. 1 minute has passed, 5 bodies worth of dismembered parts are littered around me like garbage.
見ちゃった。すごいんだ。本気になった式って。
See?
ARCUEID.
She just wanted to watch. That was it. Blinking through my headache and delirium, I look back. ARCUEID reappears, making her way to me through the pool of blood. The scattered chunks of flesh turn to ash and vanish in the wind. The only thing left is a pool of blood, thick and dark like oil.
でも無茶は禁物よ。ほら、早くメガネをかけて。そのままだと倒れちゃうでしょ。
そうだな。ありがとう。
I put my glasses back on and stuff my knife into my pocket. The smell of blood is still making me queasy, but my headache quickly subsides.
死ぬかと思った。じゃなくて。話が違うぞ、ARCUEID。なんだっていなくなるんだよ、お前は。
あら、協力するってこういうことでしょ。まさか私にだけ戦わせて、自分は何もしないつもりだったの？あなたは。
いや、それはそうだけど。
I am unable to refute her logic. Getting involved with a vampire means diving headfirst into danger. It's my own fault for forgetting that.
確かに、俺は気が抜けてた。それは認める。けど、それなら事前にそうと言ってくれ。お前なんか意地が悪くなってないか。
ええ、楽しんだのは事実よ。式の魔眼がどれだけすごいのか自分の目できちんと確かめたかったから。
テストってそういうことかよ。はいはい。じゃあ結果はどうでしたか、お姫様。
文句なし。あなたの目は破格の魔眼よ。その希少価値は言葉では言い表せないぐらい。
それはよかった。お眼鏡にかなって光栄ですとも。
I punctuate my retort with a sigh. Even if she's paying me an honest compliment, it's hard to be happy about it. being praised for my ability to kill people is like confirmation that I'm a good for nothing else.
でもその目と同じぐらいあなた自身もおかしな人ね。直前まで逃げ腰だったのにナイフを握って殺すと決めた途端迷いなく死者を解体するんだもの。そういうところ私と似ているのかも。なのに人間よりも人間らしいなんてすごく不思議。
I'm not sure what emotion I hear in her words. Affection, admiration, compassion? It came out of nowhere and I can't find a fitting response.
ねえ、ロアの後始末が終わったら私と一緒に行かない？よくわからないけど一人で帰るの嫌になっちゃった。
Arcueid trots away a few steps then swings around to face me. I answer without thinking.
あのな、行くってどこにだよ。まさかお前の故郷じゃないだろうな。
Her sincerity goes over my head, and my reply comes out sharp.
何その嫌そうな顔。私一応お姫様だよ。玉の腰乗ってみない？
お断りだ。そんな爆弾みたいな腰に乗れるか、バカ。
なんか今すごく侮辱された気がするんですけど。
Half-heartedly trying to quell Arcueid's protest, I take another look around the parking lot. There don't seem to be any more vampires around. If Roa was still alive, we probably would have been attacked by the entire apartment complex, but these were all that remained. The other inhabitants were probably the rank 1 and 2 low-level dead apostles that CL mentioned. Mere corpses now that their sire is dead.
もうここには誰もいなそうだな。外に出よう、アルクエイド。さすがに血の匂いがきつい。
I call out to Arcueid and we leave the garage. There is no telling for how many years these vampires had been festering in darkness, but now the light is shining in. Outside, I fill my lungs with fresh air. Though this job is done, I don't feel much sense of accomplishment. The hunt for Roa's minions isn't over yet, and more pressingly, what are we supposed to do about the rest of the apartment?
どうするんだ、アルクエイド。他に吸血鬼がいないとしても、ここはねぐらの一つなんだろう。もしかしたら中に隠れている奴がいるかもしれないし、念のために調べるか。
もちろんしっかり後始末はするわ。じゃあ式はちょっと離れてて。
Oh! Arcueid turns back to the apartment complex and raises her left hand in the air. Then...
No!
She could have just done that, right? She could have just destroyed it all. But no, she wanted to watch Shiki fight first. Why is she so strong now though? With a great rumbling, the apartment complex collapses in an instant, smooshed like a cake by some gigantic unseen hand.
どう？式みたいな希少性はないけど、私だってすごいでしょ？
But yeah, in this route she is much more powerful. Arcueid smiles proudly.
そう。
見直してくれた？
そうか、バカだったな、お前！
I grab Arcueid's hand and start running. I mean, Ishiki's right. You ran because yeah, people are gonna be coming here and then they're gonna be like, what happened? The magnitude of her power doesn't surprise me. After all, she's strong enough to protect the whole town from Vlov's snowstorm. Just please have some common sense.
なんで逃げるの？もう危険はなくなったのに。
あんな騒ぎを起こしたら人が集まってくるだろう。ちょっとは考えろ、バカ女。
それはそうよね。私ったらうっかりさん？
すごいな、分かっててやったのか。
things have taken an unnecessary turn for the worse. Fighting the flow of people coming out to investigate the source of the noise, we run to the empty park. Damn, she destroyed a building like that. So it was so loud. No heavy machinery or explosives precipitated this destruction. The building was crushed by a controlled natural phenomenon, by a minute adjustment to the laws of nature. Let me just look at this. Half in shock and half in rage, she listens to the collapse. The product of a millennia of human advancement, a symbol of modern civilization, razed to the ground on a fleeting whim. Ooh, CL. She's watching there. Okay. So let's take a break here for now. So a little bit of, I guess, time with ARCUEID. This time around, we've been hanging out with CL a lot. But now ARCUEID. But yeah, you can see ARCUEID having different personality, right? Putting Shiki in that situation, I guess, just to satisfy her needs. Just, yeah, for her to watch him. She was just right there when Shiki was getting attacked by those minions. And then afterwards, when it was over, she revealed herself and then she was happy at looking at that, right? So I can't wait to see how ARCUEID is gonna progress, I guess, as a character in this route. Because it's, yeah, little by little, she's becoming, let's say, much more, I don't know the word exactly for this, much more scarier, much more what, but yeah, I can't wait to see how the end game for ARCUEID is gonna be in this route. So anyways, we're gonna continue this and do more of Tsukihime, a piece of blue glass moon, in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.